Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into two really iconic spots in New York Harbor, the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island.
That's right. We've been looking at this great video tour source material.
Yeah, it really gives you a feel for visiting. And our mission, really, is to pull out the most useful bits, the fascinating details for you, whether you're planning a trip or just curious about the history.
What's really interesting, I think, from this source is how it connects them. It's not just two separate landmarks.
Right.
It shows this whole journey, the huge symbol of freedom on one hand, and then the real process of arriving on the other.
Absolutely. So let's start where you'd start.
Yep.
Getting there. You need to catch a ferry.
Yep. Either from Castle Clinton in Battery Park, that's in NYC, or from Liberty State Park over in New Jersey.
And Castle Clinton, that place alone has seen a lot, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It started as a fort.
Yeah.
It was a beer garden, a theater, and interestingly, it was the main immigration center before Ellis Island. Now it's where you get the ferry tickets.
Okay, and here's a really key takeaway from the video. Super important if you're planning to go. Buy your tickets online and well in advance.
Definitely.
You might get same-day ones for the grounds or maybe the pedestal, but expect long lines. And for crown access, forget about it last minute.
Months, right. The source says months sometimes.
Exactly. Those timed tickets sell out fast. It just shows how much people want that experience, that connection.
It really does. People don't just want to see Lady Liberty. They want to be inside the crown. And a crucial warning, too. Get tickets from official places.
Right. Online or at the park.
Yeah.
The source mentions street scammers.
Yeah, selling fakes. So be careful. Good thing is the ferries run pretty much every day.
Unless there's really bad weather or Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Right. Usual exceptions.
So the ferry ride itself, pretty short, maybe 15 minutes or so over to Liberty Island.
And then, well, there she is, the Statue of Liberty.
Amazing sight. A gift from France, dedicated way back in 1886. A global symbol, everyone knows her.
And that detail about her color is fascinating, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the source pointed that out. She wasn't always green.
Started out copper-colored, like a new penny.
Took about 30 years, apparently, for the air and salt to oxidize it to that green we all know.
And just think about her size back then. Over 300 feet tall.
To the tip of the flame, yeah.
In 1886, that made her the tallest structure in New York City. Quite something. And she's modeled after Libertas, the Roman goddess.
So if you're visiting, practically speaking, there are lockers for bags, cost $0.25, but you get it back.
Right. And getting up to the pedestal, about 195 steps. Or there's an elevator, but maybe a wait.
But the crown, if you got that ticket way in advance, that's the real climb.
Yeah, 162 steps. It's a narrow double helix staircase inside. Pretty unique.
And the source mentioned how thin the copper skin is, just 2 pennies thick. Amazing it holds up.
Held up by that internal structure, which has been restored, of course.
And the views from the crown must be incredible, looking out the windows.
You see the tablet she's holding, July 4th, 1776. You see her arm, the torch.
And out across the harbor, Brooklyn, Governor's Island, the whole scene.
Don't skip the museum at the base either. Lots of good stuff there.
Right. It covers the history, the official name Liberty Enlightening the World.
And you see the original torch there, the one they replaced in the 80s.
Plus the Emma Lazarus poem, give me you're tired, you're poor. Very powerful.
Definitely. Okay, so after Liberty Island, you hop back on the ferry.
Next stop, Ellis Island. The main gateway, right? From 1892 to 1954.
The sheer numbers are hard to grasp. Something like 12 million immigrants came through this place.
Wow. The source mentioned the speaker had family come through there, Irish and Italian grandparents or great-grandparents. Makes it personal for so many.
Absolutely. And the main building is now the National Museum of Immigration. You're basically walking in their footsteps.
You start in the baggage room, just imagine. All the belongings, the hopes packed in there.
And then you go up to the registry room, that huge hall.
That's the famous one, right? Where everyone waited.
Yeah, waiting for inspection. You can almost feel the tension, the uncertainty they must have felt.
The source described the process: health checks, literacy tests, eye exams. It was intense.
There were hearing rooms for more questions, possible detention, and sometimes deportation.
That statistic was stark. 98% got through.
But that means 2% were sent back. Imagine making that whole journey only to be turned away. It highlights the risk, the vulnerability.
Downstairs, there's the American Family Immigration Center. You can look up records.
The source said it cost $10 there, but also noted you can often find those records online for free now. Something to keep in mind.
And the Journeys exhibit sounds interesting too. Different immigration ways, how people traveled.
Yeah, and it had examples of the U.S. citizenship test questions. Makes it relatable.
Outside, there's the Wall of Honor, too.
With over 1 million immigrant names inscribed. Really moving.
So yeah, that's kind of the journey our source takes us on. From planning the ferry trip, climbing inside Lady Liberty,
To walking those halls at Ellis Island, where millions started their American lives.
it really does show that duality, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The huge, hopeful symbol on one island, and then the very real, very human process. The screening, the waiting just across the water on the other.
And here's something to think about, something the source kind of leaves you with. Reflect on that massive wave of people passing through Ellis Island.
Yeah, what must that moment have been like, standing under the Statue of Liberty's gaze?
But knowing your future depended on getting through that inspection process right there.
It connects that big symbol of hope with the sometimes difficult reality of actually becoming an American. Really makes you think.